staff members as well. And I know the management of this institution is also watching us, because whenever we go to the offices, they always tell us about the briefing, and they even tell us that why did you say this and why did you say that. So without wasting time, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ngoya Kazadi. I'm the Secretary General of the SRC. Together with the President, Manda Masendi, we are going to give a report on some SRC activities. And the purpose of this briefing is to update you on the issue of academic registration. Secondly, we will touch the issue of financial exclusion. And thirdly or lastly, we will touch the issue of SRC fundraising strategies. So as you know, it's that time of the year for students, especially it's a tough time for the self-funded student. For students who have a certain type of funding, it is not really stressing. But in VUT, registration is always stressing. Since we moved to online registration, we had hoped that the management was going to improve the system. But unfortunately, the system is still not functioning the way it's supposed to run. So without wasting time, I am going to start with the issue of Without wasting time, I'm going to start with the issue of academic registration. On academic registration, I will start with the first year's registration, or what we call F10, first time entrant. On first day, the 27th, the university opened the system for first time entrant, the F10. But unfortunately, as we speak now, the numbers of F10, of first years, those who managed to register, it's only 500 students. And management is wanting an intake of 5,000 students. So only 10% of those who have been accepted managed to register. And this is caused by the delay of NSFAS sending the list to the university, the list of funded students. As we speak now, it is only self-funded students who managed to register. So the stand of the SRC was clear, and is still clear. Students who have applied for NSFAS should not pay the registration fee. The 2,200 do not pay the registration fee. We cannot allow a situation where there is inequality outside and we bring that inequality also in the system, where the self-funded student or those who can afford can register and take the space of other students who might have applied before them but are waiting for NSFAS to release the list to different institutions, because it's not only a VUT problem, it is a national problem. But whenever there are problems, there will always be a solution. We have proposed the management to adopt the solution that was done by the University of Johannesburg. What did UJ do? UJ removed the block, the financial block, and all the students that were accepted registered. Self-funded, all those who have applied for NSFAS, all of them have registered. We have proposed this to the management. We told them, why don't you do what UJ is currently doing? Because if we keep on postponing the registration, who is going to pay the price? Student. You can remember last year, we started the academic year in April, and we had to finish the academic year at the end of November. There was a lot of pressure on students, and on lectures as well, to complete the academic year on time. So, on Friday, the system was closed, and as of now, no student, no first year is registering. And on Monday, we have made it clear to the management that no system will be open up until you adopt the solution that we have proposed to you. It's very much unfortunate that our proposal was rejected by the Office of the CFO. We have a progressive SRC of people who can think, but on the other side, you have a management that is afraid of innovation, that is afraid of taking risk. Leadership is about taking risk. That's what we are saying to the management. Leadership is about taking risk. You take a risk that is going to assist both the institution and the student at the same time. From tomorrow, based on the communication from the Office of the Registrar, senior student registration is supposed to start tomorrow. We have already sent our communication to the management that senior student registration must be postponed. We are not happy to have this registration being postponed. But the truth is, the management is not ready. There is no readiness at all to proceed with this registration. They are tired. They have just left everything into God's hand. They have just said, now we will go, we will see what is going to be done. It is unfortunate that the majority of solutions that you see them implementing are coming from the SRC. Every day we go, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? But the management is not progressive. I believe we need the substitution. You know, during a football game, we substitute. It's time for substitute. We need the management to improve the way they are running this institution, the way they are running this registration. Because there's nothing progressive there. They are just, it's just like they are gambling. Even when you gamble smartly. But here they are just gambling. They've left everything into God's hand. So from tomorrow morning, we'll be at the campus to monitor that the system does not open. Why are we saying that the system for first years and seniors registration must not open? Is to avoid these inequalities. We are not going to allow a situation where some people are favored over the others. And management should know that the majority of VUT students are coming from disadvantaged background. This is our institution. So, all the decisions that you are going to take should be for the benefit of the student. Relax. You are moving too fast. Relax. You are moving too fast. This is the stand of the SRC. Tomorrow, nothing will open. They can work and respond to people who have applied and fix problems there and there. So that when you open the system, everything runs smoothly. Because even with the registration of first years, especially those doing engineering and safety management, there were already problems. Some could not even get not even one module, like people of safety management. On the first day of registration, it was chaos. Those who are doing engineering, that's where there's a lot of problems. You will register after 1 hour after they open the system. They tell you will receive a message telling you that there's no group because that module is already full. So we are giving them time to fix it. And by the time you open the system, everything will run smoothly. Secondly, I will go straight to financial exclusion. And I will only do an introduction, and the president will touch that part. The issue of financial exclusion is a sensitive topic in this institution. It has been a sensitive topic. That's where poor students are always excluded from the system. Now, as we speak now, we have received the stats of students who made arrangement last year with the credit management. I'm going to give you the numbers, the figures of students who made arrangement last year, and you will judge for yourself, student. Wherever you are, take a pen and a paper. I will give you figures and you will judge for yourself and make a decision. The SRC had 2 meetings to deliberate on these figures. So I will start with the issue of national student. 500 students with outstanding debt of 20,494,931 could not settle the debt in full. Only 103 students with credit balance of 1,211,216 managed to settle the debt in full. And let me, before I go into the details, let me just tell you that in VUT, the student debt is 583,346,277 as of January 2022. So almost 600 million rand of student debt. But the funny part with this student debt, management also include people that are dead people. Students that are dead are still form part of this debt. Why should they include people that are dead and give us these numbers? Management should make research when it comes to the credit, the National Credit Act. There are debt that should be written off as of now. Going back to the state, among these 500 students with outstanding debt, we have the possible NSFAS, those who form part of the closeout or the migration, all those who have been unfunded by NSFAS in the middle of the year. There are 61 students with a balance of 3,389,236. Students whose debt is under 5,000. We have 43 students with a debt under 5,000 rand. And their balance is 98,100. Students with an historical debt ranging from 5,001 to 10,000. We have 44. With a balance of 341,474. Students with an historical debt ranging from 10,001 to 20,000. We have 69 students with a balance of 1,049,929. From 20,001 to 30,000, we have 73 students with a balance of 431,498. A debt ranging from 30,001 to 40,000, we have 57 students with a balance of 1,975,648. From 40,001 to 50,000, we have 41 students with a balance of 1,826,480. 50,000 and above, we have 112 students with a balance of 9,982,566. In total, it's 500 students with a balance of 20,494,000, 20,494,931. So these are the type of national students who made arrangements last year. By national student, I mean those who have South African ID. So that's the state of those students. Let me go to international students. 152 international students with an outstanding debt of 2,479,920 could not settle the debt in full. Only 23 students with credit balance of 20,682 managed to settle the debt in full. So let me break the stat for international students. He texted me last night. He told me it was him. So it's 152 international students with a balance of 2,479,920. So these are the stats. I hope you will make your own calculations there. These are the stats, ladies and gentlemen. I will give it now to the president. He's going to go into the gist of this matter, and we'll take it from there.
Thank you very much, SG. It was indeed a nice briefing from your side. Can they hear me? Yeah. Thank you very much, SG. Indeed, it's painful. What we are going through is very much painful. Very, very much painful. Now, I must say that last year there was an agreement between management and the interim SRC, which was led by Comrade Tito as the president and Comrade Lifa as the SG. Now, we come into conclusion that we had 778 students which made agreements last year to pay certain amount. Yeah? And out of that number, we only have 16% of students which managed to honor the agreement. This automatically informs you and SG that we have 84% which failed to honor the agreement. Now, if we must go back to the recently proposed document by the CFO, she says students must pay their last year agreement before they can enter into another agreement. So if you had an agreement that you are going to pay 7,000 and you paid 1,000, you had a balance of 6,000. Before you can consider making any agreements for this year, you must first finish that 6,000 which is left. Then you come back and pay according to her proposed document. Now we are saying to you, it doesn't make sense, SG. Doesn't make sense at all that out of 100%, only 16 managed to honor the agreement. So we can't reach a conclusion that 84% of people, they are stubborn or they have money, they don't want to release the money. It tells you the problem is with the document, not with the student. So the problem of the university is that we have someone who's sitting in an office and trying to impress the upper management to say, I'm doing all it takes to generate money to the university. Then the question is, if you are releasing abnormal percentages, and then at the end of the day we have 84% of people who are failing to honor those abnormal percentages, Is the university generating money at all? Or it's a loss? So we are saying the CFO must not target to just have flowers of high percentage in a document, but rather have less percentage, but only to find out that the 84%, which is a loss, becomes a positive, to say 84% of people honored the document, but 16 failed. And then it will make sense than to have 84 failing, then 16 passing. But you are proud, Urmina, I produced the document with high percentages. What she's doing is contributing to financial exclusion direct, without considering. You know, sometimes we just have to state things the way they are, SG. It's very much painful to see someone who's a black person sitting in an office which determine a future of a black child, but making reckless decisions to make sure that a black child does not enter the system. It's very much painful. So I just wish, you know, sometimes you can end up wishing people wrong things so that they go to a leave nyana, or they stay in a hospital for some time, and then our student can register, then they will come back when our students are in the system. On a serious note, it's not witchcraft, SG, but it's a straight thing. Sometimes you can wish people to stay in the hospital, then they come back when the black child is already in the system. Because if UJ is proposing to say we are going to register everyone and hold the proof of registration, what's making VT to fail to do the same? We have lost the whole week of registration. First years we're supposed to be having 5,000, we're 500. We had to go and stop the registrations as the SRC to say no. You can't continue with the registration because NSFAS students are still blocked. They haven't received the list from NSFAS. So how do you then continue with the registration? But CW does not have a problem. CW, we must clean their name here. They don't have any problem at all to apply what is happening at UJ. The problem is sitting with the office of the CFO. She's the one who's saying, no, I can't, we're going to run at losses. This 84% on its own, it's a loss, which is something which we must be very radical about when we on our first meeting in council. To say, if we have 84 people failing to honor the agreement, what does it say to you? Then you come back, the very same people who failed to honor the agreement for the whole year, you tell them in a space of 1 month, I want you to pay what we're supposed to pay last year and pay again for this year. Our comrades, where are we going? So now I become sensitive, very sensitive, by the way. My problem, which is eating me day in and day night, because after the end of the day, SG and UTG, since we are not going to be always in office. Tomorrow, the very people who are calling students, they must come forward and represent others. But the pain I'm having is the direction which VT is taking. VT used to be one of the institutions whereby we could always love each other and find people which are not owing but having NSFAS. If we say we are closing the gates tomorrow to make sure that each and every black child enters the system, they could always wake up like everyone and come and join the strike and assist another black child to enter the system. But today we have bourgeois and slave queens who say, nah, I have NSFAS. So what is the purpose for me to wake up and go to a strike? Rubber bullet. You stay 1 year, now you are financial excluded. Quick. Then we must come and support you. So as much as we are known to be the EFF of the student and the radical EFF which can fight for any issue of the student, we must go back to the ground and tell our students the truth. To say, no matter how powerful we can be, we can't have strength if they are not behind us. If these very same students are not with us fighting for these issues. The arrogance of the CFO can make us call a revolution at any time. To say, comrades, faster take, let's go to the street. Because the woman is very much arrogant. So when that time comes, we don't want people who will sleep and say, I'm fine, I have a bursary from ABSA, or I have NSFAS, or I have what? Luruna we have. But the thing which is pushing us to wake up and faster take and go to the street is a black child which is being excluded. So as students, it's high time we get to love each other and love one another. As students, it's high time we get to implement the song which says, if you touch one, you touch all. Because today it might be me, tomorrow it's you. So we have a very big issue. And we must say, because we've been getting questions left, right, center, students of 2018 being affected by N+2. We must say it on record. It's a national issue. It's not only VUT. It's a national issue. But now when we go deep into this matter, you find to say, if they want to implement this thing, 80% of students who are at varsity now, they are affected by this. Because most of the students which are currently at university now, they entered the system 2018. This will be one of the biggest mistakes NSFAS can ever make. But we must say that there have been communication throughout, in and out with the national office. Very soon, by the way, if they do implement this thing, the national office of the EFF is going to call a national shutdown. And when we call a national shutdown, we are all human beings. We all have blood. Don't say knowing that you are affected or you are not affected. You wake up and sleep on a national shutdown. It pains worse even when you are specially affected. Then you wake up and sleep. Who must fight for your rights? If you are sleeping, who must go out there and say, I'm fighting for this student, but the student is sleeping? And it's so, I've been checking our recent strikes. We have more females than males. We have more females than males in the ground, taking over the upcoming generation of politics. Indeed, very soon, for the first time, we're going to have a female president in VT. Because females are coming very, very positive into the picture of fighting issues which affect students. Now I'm going to touch the issue of migration students. Now these students are the students which are funded by NSFAS. Now when them being funded, then someone who's lazy somewhere in VUT doesn't submit the documents which are needed or the data which is needed by NSFAS head office to say this student is in our university, this student is studying these modules and this course. Someone sit back, doesn't submit such. Now a student, when they check in their ITS, they found out that they are owing the university school fees. Now, who must pay that money? Because these students we are speaking of, they're actually included. They're included in this 61. They're there. So as the SRC, we have taken a stand to say, those students must be allowed to enter to the system without paying anything. Because if we ask any money from those students, it's a daylight robbery. because they did everything which they were supposed to do. Some of them, they even passed 100% on SG. So how do you penalize such a student? There we are clear. We have taken a stand. We're very much clear. They must not pay anything. I think anytime this week, SG, we are going to open the gates and call all students to come back. Because some of the arrogance from management is by knowing that students are at home. There's nothing they're going to do. They're just writing on VT2, complaining while they are at Limpopo, KZN, you're 500 kilometers away. They know, or even if we can wake up and say we are going for a revolution tomorrow, we'll be 10 at the gate. So we must call students to come back so that any emergency or any revolution which is needed, we take it to the street. Now I'm going to enter into the strategy of fundraising by SRC. We've come up with a way of fundraising, and we know that some of you don't sit well, some of you will see the need to do so. Some of you will also advise to say, no, but I think SRC, here you can make it like this. We are open for learning. We are not SRC which says we know everything. No, 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 no. We are your people. We are your slaves. You must show us where we are losing direction. You must tell us in a proper manner. Or leaders, here we feel like you are losing it. Here we feel like hold it like that. Now, as the SRC, as we speak now, we only have the budget of 1.4 million, which was left by the previous 4 million. We don't want to negotiate with management. Again, it's ours, it's our budget. We are going to direct it to student debt. All of it. We are going to run with zero budget until they give us another budget. For now, we have zero. Because the 1.4 million we are having, we are taking it straight to student debt. Now, this is the second thing. SRC members, I know some of you think that SRC members have a lot of money. For the whole year, we get paid 12,000 for the whole year. And that 12,000 they only give us at the end of the year when we leave office. So together with my cabinet, we have taken a resolution that in that 12,000, each and every SRC member is going to contribute 1,000 to student debt. So we are going to sign a memorandum and write it to management to say, in top of the 1.4 million which we had as a budget, we are also donating our 1,000 from our own straight to student debt. So we are 19 all in all as the SRC. So automatically it means from the SRC pocket, we are going to donate 1.4 million plus 19,000 to student debt. Now, our second proposal is this. I know this one might not sit well with many of the students, but I will explain why. We are proposing that we have a link which management will send to all the students. In that link, we want students which are willing. We have a proposal to say if each and every student, remember January, your first income is going to be food allowance plus book allowance. So we are saying from each and every student, can we please have an agreement that you all donate 150? The reason why I'm saying that is because if, like last year, I think we're having for about 15,000 students which were using NSFAS. If we have 150 times 15,000, we're speaking of 2,250,000, which we can also direct to student debt. Now, we want to be clear with one thing, because we know they are agents of Satan, which are going to go to VT2 and start squabbling. No, they want to eat money of students. We don't want any money to be sent to any SRC member. We are saying when you sign in that link, management themselves, they can then deduct that 150 before they send you your allowance. Then that 2,250,000 goes to student debt. Now, someone will come and pretend like they can do bad and say, no, why are we taking money from students? This management is corrupt. This management is what when I ask you. If we don't fight for each other as a black child, we're not going anywhere. Because at the end of the day, we're going to make it a topic that management is corrupt, and then we do nothing about it. Another black child go, hey, financial exclusion happened last year. Many people went home. Many people failed to register last year. Many people failed to register. So now we are saying, we are pleading with students. By the way, it's not a must. We are saying, can we please donate 150? Management take that whole entire amount to student debt. Why are we doing this? We are trying to come up with a permanent solution to reduce financial exclusion to its core. Because if we keep on having temporal solutions, that's why year in, year out, we are finding out that no. The number of people which are owing is actually increasing. And when the number is increasing, it means more people are dropping out and going home because they can't afford. So I want to say, let's by all means, we understand management is corrupt, we understand that money is leaking. It's very, you can't even be proud that you are receiving 1.5 for food. But we are saying with that 150, you can make someone to study and finish the course and become a better black person out there. Allow me to touch a nerve. Yeah. Allow me to touch a nerve. Thank you very much, SG. Now we have Guptas. We have Guptas which are called Prepir in our university. Why am I calling them Guptas? Because the very same security company is spending millions on people, but they don't give back to the students. Now I want to open your eyes. During COVID-19, I think it was 2020, landlords were getting 50% of payment because we are not at residences. But Piri is getting 100% payment. What is Piri doing at campus if we are not there? Why do we have to have 1,000 guards just moving around with walls? Because we know we are not there. Who are they monitoring? We have seen them buying, I don't know what kind of a scooter is that, my man. That thing with 2 wheels. They are running around. There is nothing they are doing. So, my babu, Rikenetsu, SG, I hope you understand. Rikenetsu ki di Gupta. Piri came to VT to mine. They are in a mining. They are underground. They are collecting gold and diamond each and every day. But give back again, dololo. Piri have been here for 4 years, if I'm not making mistake. Yes. Now let me show you something. Each and every month, Piri gets 6 million. It means in a year, they get 72 million. Ne? So 72 72 times 4 years, it means since they came to VT they've collected 288 million.
If we earn the money when they're doing the tax thing, it goes high.
Yeah. And one thing which you must know, every time we go for a revolution, and then they bring bouncers and those hippo cars of theirs, they get more than $1 million for one day. Now, how much have they collected from our university? And which student can they point and say, we once paid 1,000 for these students to enter the system? None. So, here we are going to be clear, without any fear or favor, by the way. Our next strategy of fundraising, our third point is that Piri must donate 8 million to student debt. We even propose that they pay 4 million first semester, they come and pay another 4 million second semester. Now, we don't want them to make an arrangement with the SRC. They must sit with the very same management which is paying them a huge amount of money for nothing and make an arrangement on how they are going to contribute this 8 million. We don't want to be there. But if Piri fails to come back on board and make sure that they contribute, we know there's nothing binding them, but the revolution is going to bind them. We are going to go to the street because we have been looted for 4 years and we are not benefiting anything from that looting. Instead, we are saying pay school fees so that it pays Piri. And then when now you can't pay school fees, leave our university. We no longer need you. We only want you when you have money. We don't care whether you perform good or you perform bad. As long as you don't have money, leave our university. So, we want to set the message clear. There is a time we are going to call for a total shutdown of saying Piri must leave. If they fail to meet us halfway. Some of these students which are owing now, which are supposed to go, they have contributed a lot to Piri. Because back then they used to afford. And Piri was collecting. Now because they don't have money, they must be chased away. But Piri must continue collecting. We don't care, listen SG, we don't care whether you go to social media being lobbied. We know that some of the student leaders, by the way, you have relationship with Piri are benefiting your monthly things. We don't care. Go to media and insult us as you want, but we want Piri to come back and give back to student debt. If we now think it's a looting program, get a how, Rona ready gain, Rona mo Rinyakaba contribute. That's our stand. They must come and contribute. And if they don't, I want people to read my lips and know the stand of the SRC. We are going to call a shutdown on them. To say they must go. Because we are not benefiting anything from them. Actually, we're not, they are benefiting. After benefiting, they murder us with rubber bullets. They murder us with pepper spray when we are striking for our rights. But they are not giving us anything. Actually, this thing of Piri makes me angry. Now we are going to go to the issue of vouchers. You know, every time I tell people that we have a useless person, people say I'm personal. Hey, Rikenet, we have a useless person called director there at Mendres. That man, when he came, he went to Desmond to attend a meeting. He said to us, no. I don't see a need for students to receive vouchers. That money must be used for a good purpose. There are many issues which are affecting students, like financial exclusion. That money must be used for such things, not to give students money of which we don't know or why are they getting it. Hey, This man is saying sense in yan. As long you mention financial exclusion, we are speaking our language as black people. Since he came, we don't know where that man is going. That man is there. Even if you can check on your ITS, back then I think it used to be 250. Now it's around 293, if I'm not making mistake. That man is there in your ITS. But where is the director taking that man to? We don't know. It can't be traced. Pella was going to say maybe he's progressive. He's using it to renovate main rest or something. But there is no change at main rest. Grass is here. The ceiling are falling on students. Washing machine 1. The beds are like this.
Yeah, snakes.
Snakes are moving around. And then you don't give students their vouchers. Where are you taking that money? It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's even more than the 2,250,000 which we are proposing for 150 per student. That one is a lot of money. It can actually solve all our problems. Now we are going to attack it very hard, SG. This man of vouchers must be directed to student debt. Management must not work with the strategy of saying, let's finish registration. We'll see it again next year. Next year we have same problem of people who can't enter the system because they owe. Let's work on generating more money as we can and take it to student debt and reduce the balance of student debt so that even next year when we have to negotiate for students to enter, they see a need to say, let them pay 500 or 1,000 and enter the system because the balance of student debt have reduced with a good number. But it won't happen because we have people which think VT is a mine. And if we don't fight this mentality of people thinking that VT is a mine, we're going to have a problem of one thing. We have a sister which is still at high school. I always say, by the way, your president have a daughter. I have a daughter which must come and also enter the very same university. Don't fix for you to finish. Fix the environment to extend that even those who are going to come 10 years after you, they find a place being a good environment for study. Not to say, no, as long as you as long as you are for it, by the way. But we have 2 years full. The university is not printing student cards. But this thing we are being charged for it. Where is that money going? Then we have a CFO who just wake up and come and parachute, poof. From 10,000 and above, they must pay 40%. What if I'm owing 100,000? I must pay 40,000 January. Where will I get that money? Where will I get that kind of money? 40,000. You pay. You know what that document is saying? You are going to pay 40,000, which is 40%, and you are going to pay 2,200 for registration fee. And you don't stay at the rest after that. Where will you get the money to pay rent? So when we make a call and say we have an arrogant CFO who's trying by all means to exclude the black child, we are not being personal. We saw it coming from a distance or all from a tata. This one is going to give us problem. So, Liana, you must expect at any day we are going to call a revolution to say she must go. We are going to camp at the gate. They will shoot us if they want to shoot us. They will suspend us if they want to suspend us. But once we take that stand to say the CFO must go because she has excluded most of our black brothers and sisters, no one is going to stop us. We are going to camp day in, day night, mooring each other with stones, with everything we have, until the management see that she must go. Because management can't protect one person over 22,000 students. Because there is no university without students, by the way. So that call, we are going to call it very soon, to say this woman must leave. Because when we make research, even where she comes from, there's a problem. You know, when you are at a certain position, you must understand the environment you are at. When you are the CFO of VET, you can't operate like the CFO of VT. You can't operate like the CFO of NW. First of all, if you want to be a strategic management, get to know the environment you are at, get to know the background of the students which are attending at that institution, to say 90% of these people, they are from this place, 60 they are from this place, or 20 they are from this place. That's where you're going to know, or when you're making decision when SG, this decision of yours, who is it going to affect, who is it going to assist? Don't just operate like you are at that university of white people.
UCD.
Yeah.
University of Cape Town.
It's like in that university of Cape Town, whereby even if you say pay 100%, those white people will just come and swipe and leave. Here we have a problem here. We have people who are coming from the rural area. If you tell them to go and tell their parents to say, please, 10,000 skolo, it's an insult. Some of our parents, they've never seen 10,000 like this. But when I want to demand it in a space of 1 minute, to just wake up drinking coffee and say, no, this one must pay 40,000. Some of us, the families we come from, that 10,000, we don't even eat it the whole year. Re busy re beta di cabbage li phofu ki phofu ki cabbage year in year out. Har changeile menu relata montwana. When you come and demand 40,000 from such a person, that person is eating whatever the parents is providing, with the mentality of saying, once I finish my studies, I want to come back home and make sure that I make my parents eat bright meat. When you stop that goal, that mission of a black child with the 1 second. So we are saying, get ready. Prepare your all stars, by the way. It's going there. It's getting there, bit by bit. You can't say we're telling people to pay 25%. Listen, the last day document was saying pay 25%, pay 30%, pay 15%. But we only have 16% of people who honored. 84 failed. You come back the following year and say pay 40%. Where is logic? Where is logic in this thing? So we are saying, Fasate, prepare. Pack your bags. In this week, actually, we must finalize with landlords that all students must come back. Because I saw the list is out. Even though there are issues to be fixed, but it's out. We're going to say all students come back. And when they come back, hey, my babo, Zizokal. Allow me to go to the now. Okay. As much as students must contribute, employees must also contribute. So the part of our fundraising is that we're going to have a meeting with NEAO and request them to speak to their employees. Remember, it's not a must. We are kindly asking that if each an employee once off can just compromise 100 rand and say, I'm going to contribute 100 rand. When we include all VT employees, it's going to be millions. That money will also take it to student debt. Remember, when we have a problem like this, it's not the problem of the SRC or problem of the student. We are in university, which is facing a problem. We must put our heads together to fix the problem. You don't say, matata, you point fingers around. These students must be the ones to pay. Rona can feel. Because it's scary. With 2018 students being affected by N+2, it's scary. VT might end up coming back and say, no, we don't afford to have so much employees. We must start reducing the number. You come as union and say, assist us to close gates. We remind you, but comrades, when we had problems, you didn't come on board to assist us. We understand that VT does not pay that much, but that small 100 rand you can contribute can make a huge change. We are speaking of those who are in a low-level class of salary. But when it goes to both VC, CFO, and the deans, the directors, and what, those ones actually they must just contribute 5,000 per person. Those ones. Because most of them they are earning about 60,000 per month. Some of them they are earning about 100,000 per month. Some of them they are even earning more than 200 or 150 per month. So such people must actually contribute for about 5,000. Hey, Umone CFO, it's nice to write a document and say people must pay. Go to her now and say, please donate 5,000 to student debt. She won't even donate 100 rand. She will then, you know, when you want to win issues, we must actually put them into practical and test them, SG. We will go to the CFO's office, by the way. We are going to request and ask her nicely to donate 5,000 to student debt. If she tells us that she doesn't have, because of some certain issues that she's paying the bills and what, she doesn't have money, then she must tell us where does she expect our parents to get 40,000 she's requesting. Because I know when we go to her office and say, please donate 5,000, she's going to tell us, my bills are about this much per month, I can't afford to assist you. But we are expecting our very own parents, who have never even seen 10,000 in there, with all 10,000 in their heads like this, to come and pay 40,000. From where? We are just killing our parents bit by bit with that attack. We are making our parents feel less of a mother or feel less of a father. Because when they look at you, when they see the hunger you have for education, and then they see that they are the ones who are failing you to make sure that you achieve that goal, they feel less of a parent, but there's nothing they can do by them. So, employees must also come on board and assist us. Now we go to landlords. We understand, Libona, 2020 they were chopped 50%. But even them, we want them to come back on board. Our proposal is that each and every landlord must contribute 100 rand per student. So if you have 5,000 students as a landlord, you then say 5,000 students times 100 rand. You donate to student debt. Because this thing is a chain. It's a cycle. We are here, we are learning, we are making sure that the university gets money, and then when you are benefiting from that money, and then jiggy, we are no longer funded, but we still have to finish our qualifications. And then you and I must come back and say, no, but you were once there, you once gave me money. Let me also assist so that you continue and finish. That's where landlords must come in, Libona, if they don't do it, we're going to take a stand and advise our students not to go to their buildings. Because students must know, if you go and stay in such a building, you're contributing to someone who will never come back and assist you tomorrow when you're in need. That's our stand at the SRC. Now, I think I've moved all our proposals or plan for fundraising. Now we have people like Pick and Pay. Libona, we are going to go to them. Because if you were to check how much students give Pick and Pay, it's a lot of money. Actually, all our 1.5 are ending there. Pick and Pay up on okay now it's finished.
President, including 0.1 and 0.2.
Yes. That's where we are living Manisham. There we are finishing our budget. That thing of 0.1 and 0.2 is taking our money poor. It pains when you see some of the students. You know, some of them, you know, being a boy is painful. Being a man is painful. When I ask you, why am I saying it's painful? You just received 1.5 Friday. You go to 0.2. You see your crush and I want to impress. Photo. You finish the budget. Tomorrow you no longer have money for food, you have nothing. But the very same place you are donating never comes back and say, no. We want to at least assist 5 students. Because each and every weekend, we are collecting for about 50,000 from these students when they buy. Everyone. No, can go then in Chautongati, they would not tolo you on them. No one is so we are saying those people must come on board and assist. Hey, now we have these ones of buses, Libo. These ones of buses, they think they are not part of action. They just want to collect Bolinda, Bo small bed, Bo, who's the other one? Bo Opapat, Pompembe. They just want to collect money year in, year out. Harga Nobali funeral. You will never hear them saying we are donating a bus to go and bury a student. Even if it's a funeral, that student was paying them from January to December, January for 2 years. But if that student pass away in that rest which they are working, there is no day you're going to hear them saying we are just releasing a bus for free to go and bury this student because these students have been contributing to our company. They want money. They are making quotations there. Then we find tags again of leaders who make quotations of 10 buses and only take 3 to the funeral. So we are saying Libona, they must come on board and assist. Otherwise we are going to have a serious problem. We are going to camp in residences and say this bus will not carry our student at any cost because they are not assisting us. Some of these people, they even bribe student leaders with a huge amount of money, but they fail to direct it to a good purpose. So Libona, they must come on board. Now there is another issue. Let me off-ramp a little bit. There is an issue of safety. Recently there is a tax or taxes which are moving around Van der Bay. So females must be very, very much careful, especially females, because even males, because a gun does not have gender. So be careful which kind of a taxi you enter. They don't sit together, others sit at the back seat, others at the front to confuse you. But once you enter, if you are female, they win. So please, we have a serious matter happening around us. Be careful which taxi you use. Especially if you know first years coming to VT to inquire anything. Advise them to be very much careful. Very much. Don't just pick taxis in the street. Be specific. Go to a certain spot where you know, or this taxi pick taxis from Van der Bay, they are found here to campus or campus to Van der Bay, so that we are safe. And Lerona, if such thing happen, we are able to trace where did you get this text? So it means if you took it from the spot, Marshal, they must be knowing who was the driver. So I think I've said mouthful and I've covered everything. And I don't think there's anything I left out. But now, if we come together, comrades, and implement this strategy, even next year we are not going to have any problems. Even next year we are not going to have any problems. Now, I know some of you, because you think we are comrades, we are going to be lenient. When we are donating this 1.4 million from our budget and our 1,000, we are not doing a comradeship thing here. That's not what is going to happen here. Of course, we are not going to leave anyone outside, but don't expect because you are a comrade, we are going to do favors when we pledge for people. We look at faces and say, we're not out there. When you're an EFF member, or you're a SASCO, or you're a PASMA, whatever you are, doesn't matter. When we do pledges, we are going to be very much professional and make sure that we cover everyone. Because we saw pledges of last year, they were being sold. For you to get a pledge, you must remove a certain amount. Kuru, you want money, but you buy money. Kuru, it's pity. You want money, but you must buy it. Who busy? So we are saying, we are not going to be playing this year. We are going to be working according to who deserve. Who is promising? One module for 2 years now. We keep on pledging for you. For one subject. Year in, year out, we must pledge for you alone. But there is someone who's performing 100% owing there. Comrade. No, you won't see it this time around. Now, I know. Now, SG, even some of the comrades, which we know. Everywhere I go, they insult me, no comrades. But I'm not here to be loved. I know you are not insulting you. I saw last time they were posting nonsense about you. We are not here to be loved, comrades. Continue insulting. Take it to VT. Write anything you want. But we are going to work for students, not for favoritism or to impress anyone. How can one only leader and then everyone is saying, yeah, something is wrong. Something is fish. You are entertaining people's feelings more than reality. So now we are here to focus on reality and to make sure that there is no black child which is left out of the system. So we then want to do this because remember we have rejected the document of the CFO. So we are saying SG, TG and DSG, they are going to open a group and a link will be shared even on VT2 and everywhere tonight. That group will start operating tonight. Next, SG was reading figures of people which are owing. We need students to voice out. We can't always make decisions for students. The reason why we have 84% of students which failed to honor the agreement is that someone sat somewhere with management and took a decision without understanding the ground, without understanding what students can afford to pay. They just made decisions on behalf of students. Now we are sitting with a huge amount of money which was failed to be paid. So we are going to open that group so that students can propose, or SRC, when you propose to management that students which owes must pay like this, please play around these figures because that's what we afford. And then we are going to draft it as it is and we send it to management. So we are going to create a WhatsApp group tonight. Since we have taken a stand that senior students registration must be postponed, well, it's going to operate it from tonight and the whole of tomorrow. Submit your view. Of course, as the SRC, we have our own level of thinking to say we can approach it like this, like that, but we don't want to take decision on behalf of you, because we have seen people, they tried it and they failed. That's why 84% of you didn't follow that thing. So we are saying we are going to open that group. Please join the link, join the group, submit your views, so that when we draft a document, which is a document from the students, so that they can even own. The problem with the CFO, she just wakes up and says they must pay this, but when we reach the end of the year, we have not generated anything. But I remember, even if I have 5,000, then when you tell me that I must pay 50,000, there is that thing which is running around, that video running around TikTok, where if the money you have does not fix your problems, chow it.
Enjoyment.
So now if I have 5,000, you're telling me that I must pay 50,000. I don't even see the need of depositing that 5,000 because I see it won't bring a change. I will be still owing for 5,000. So I just go to point 2 and release the rest. But if we work according to what our students afford, we can even generate more money than we generated last year. Because everyone will be willing to come on board and be paying something according to what they afford. So I think that party, the group will start operating. It only have tonight and tomorrow, the group. From tomorrow night, we are finalizing the document according to the stats. So I believe I have covered everything. Those who are here to listen to anything to do with the residencies, we are not here for that. We are here for a black child who must enter the system. I think I'm done. We can get any questions if there are questions, so that we respond to the questions.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President, for explaining everything in detail. So now we are going to take questions. And just to emphasize to you students, the group will be created tonight just after this briefing. We will share the link and share the link also. If you form part of these texts here, kindly contribute. Kindly contribute. I say I'm also owing. And there's a certain amount that I think I can pay. I can sit and agree with the president, let's agree to this percentage. Because me as the SG, I can afford this percentage. But there's a student outside who's not going to afford. So we are inviting you. This is going to be a people's document, a student document that is going to generate more money than those 40% of the CFO. Please, we are going to take questions now, and because we've been here for so long.
Yeah, thank you very much, SG and the President. We have a question from one of the students. Do advanced students have to pay a registration fee?
That's a very good question. It's a suggestion that we are going to take it as a suggestion. And the student who asked that question, please join the group. As the SRC, we have a step that such student must be in the system. Must be in the system. So the student should also join the group, and we'll take it from there.
Thank you. We have a second question. Are we still going to get our academic records on ITS?
Yes. It's just said that the university is supposed to pay 15,000 rand to have that issue fixed. But we need to be very honest, President, with the student. There's a gentleman there at CW who is failing us.
Useless.
Who is failing us? He's failing us. The senior deputy register is failing us. We took the matter to our registrar, Dr. Mukwege. to have this issue fixed. But the senior deputy registrar is failing us. It's a simple matter. There's just a disagreement between the system analyst and the senior deputy registrar. He must take a decision. Not those academic records that they were generating 2 or 3 nights ago. If NQF level 11. This is what we have requested for it to be made available on the ITS. But we did not request for that one that was being generated. We did not request for that. That's why we told them, close that system. We are giving you until the end of this week to fix it. Tomorrow morning, we are back at it again. Up until we get that academic record.
Just to emphasize, the head of media, Comrade Muliko, that man is tired. He must just go home and sit with his children. That man is tired, man. Every time, you know, for it to have a direction that matter, we have to go to the register. After going to the register, that's where we start seeing changes, or at least they are implementing it there and there. So we can't have it. Even CW can't operate with the register alone. If it's not there, no one is operating. Everyone is lazy. So we are saying that man is tired, Shem. Every day we are in his office and he have a problem. When we enter his office, he just want to collapse before we speak. So we even spoke to the register and said, please, doc, man, no. That man, please, he's tired. He's tired. I don't want to insult.
Thank you very much, President. One of the questions from the students is that 2019 and 2018, VUT did not submit our marks. Now NSFAS did not pay our fees. What is going to happen to us?
Those students which VT, remember we are saying as the SRC, if the problem was not caused by you as a student, when you did your part, you passed, you performed well, VT must take the blame and take the responsibility and register you for free without paying any debt, because according to us you don't owe. Someone failed to submit on behalf of the university, then the university must say there is someone in this department which is making us run a loss, then let's suspend or fire this person. So that, because if there's no accountability and then every time an accident like this happens, there's no accountability, because we are going to put the blame on students and make students pay, it means it will be a generation to generation thing.
President, I think on this issue of 2018 and 2019 students,
Yes.
If it means that we go to Cape Town, to NSFAS office,
Yeah, we're going to go there.
We'll go there.
We'll go to the office.
We cannot allow a situation where some students could not register last year because of the mistake of the institution. When student leaders make mistakes, we are suspended. We are suspended, we can't even access campus. But when an individual in some offices there who only drink tea or play card there on the computer make a mistake, the person is nothing happened, the person is still working and earning money, a salary. So such students must know that we will do everything. If it means that we must go to Cape Town or to the Department of Higher Education and Training, we are going to do that. In fact, we will ask to the legal policy and constitutional matter to write to the public protector regarding this issue. This is a issue of incompetence. We take it to council.
Yeah.
We must take it to council as well.
Thank you very much. One of the students is asking that the institution was owing them, and that particular student was using NSFAS. So what happened to their credit?
Okay. Now let me say this. when you speak to NSFAS and ask them, we are being told, if there is money which I did not use and the university is owing me that money, it's in your policy to take it back. Officials of NSFAS, they say there's nothing like that. You go to VT, why did you take this money? Well, no, NSFAS is saying we must reverse it because you didn't use it. So, I think what SG was raising is very much important. Because one of the reasons why we never get solutions in this university is that student leaders want to go to head office of NSFAS around September or July. It's no longer an inquiry for students. It's a vacation. You're going to meet with your girlfriends at white sheets there. That's the problem. NSFAS, if it must be visited, it must be visited now, during registration or before registration, so that we can get clarity from NSFAS. And when we argue with the facts of the policy of NSFAS, not some rumors which we hear from finance department. Or even if it means we don't have a budget anymore, we gave away everything. Even if it means that NSFAS comes, let it be, it's going to come. Even if it means that, because we know those people, they're going to suppress us, but you don't have budget, what must we use for you? We are going to find ways to arrive at Cape Town. Do or die.
Thank you very much, President. One of the international students is asking, in all these engagements, where do international students stand, and what's the stand of the SRC on international students?
I'm an international student, so their pain is my pain. The percentage that they're asking you to pay, I must also pay it. So we have two international students in the SRC. We are all affected by the decision of management. To our fellow students who asked that question, they should know that if international students are still welcome in VUT, is because of the EFF Student Command. The EFF Student Command fought for international students for the past 6 to 5 years now. That's why you see you are still in VUT. If it was not the EFF, you will be studying somewhere else. You know, majority of international students who come to VUT, just ask them the countries where they come from. It's not unlike UCT. If you go to UCT, an international student is someone who's coming from the UK. They leave the UK to come to study at UCT. They have a selection policy that excludes international students from Africa. They prefer the ones coming from Europe because they're hip, because they're white. But in VUT, the institution in VUT that, in South Africa that has more international students coming from Africa is VUT. 41. 2 years ago, it was 41 African countries were represented in VUT. So, those international students who have problems, join the group. We want to hear from you. Maybe I can afford 100% when you see me. I can say, President, 100%. I don't have a problem. Not knowing that there's one who can only afford 40%. And the university, if the CFO wants to make that mistake of chasing someone who has money, it doesn't work like that. We are in finance here. So international students should relax, join the group, and be active. Especially that I always say to international students, be active. Join student activism, not just stay in your room and you come at the protest and watch. Join.
Just to add, SG, so that you don't respond because they are also international. Now, you raised a very much important issue. International students must know that Africa is one. And when they're in South Africa studying, it's the same as if they're in their country. When we fight for African rights, we are not fighting specifying. There is nothing special by South Africa, by the way. We also have South Africans who are studying out there, who are actually treated nice by other countries. So, international students must come on board. I feel like there is a distance between international students and SRC. Ukara, they feel like the SRC is only there to represent only South Africans. No, no, no. If we are to be honest, actually, 80% of international students, they vote for the EFF. So you can't put someone in office and isolate yourself from that person. Come on board. Even when there is a strike, at some point, you know, maybe we are losing issues because we are striking with one strategy of South Africa. Maybe you can even assist us and say, comrades, you know, in Congo, when we want to close gates, we don't start here or we don't start at this time. We do it like this and like that. By doing so, we are giving us more strategy, we implement, we even become more powerful than we were. But now we are leaving us with Vut Src and Vut Src. They are no longer international students, these ones. These ones, they are pure vendors and tongas like me. They are no longer sham. Thank you.
And the last but not least questions, will the late applications open?
No, the issue of late application is very sensitive. By now, they were supposed to have late application. But because we have incompetent people who don't want to open the system for a black child who doesn't have money to come and register. The university is losing students. Students that they have decided will go to other institutions, and they are delaying us. In fact, let me just tell you one thing. VUT needs 5,000 students, 5,000 first years. For VUT to reach its quota, there's always late application. There's always late application. Because if VUT doesn't reach its quota, the Department of Higher Education and Training will charge VUT a fine. VUT will have to pay a fine. If they go above, it is a deviation of 2%. If they go far beyond the 5,000, they will be charged. So in either way, VUT must be charged for going above the quota than not reaching the quota. So that will make sure that VUT is charged, because we want more students in the system. So there will be late applications.
Just to emphasize and touch the nerve at the same time. We have a problem in VT. And this problem, I don't see it ending very soon, because I think now Protection Service, they think that department exists only to investigate student leaders. Why am I saying that? Because those people of CW, every time they enter, they have piles of their own people. Sometimes they are collecting documents from corrupt student leaders who have collected money from students. Someone who have applied long time ago is still waiting in the list there. Or now they are putting their people back door, because system too much. There is a very department which I want Protection to investigate, the Department of Marketing. Protection Services must focus on that department. There is an arrogant man there called Chauke. Very arrogant. But this department year in, year out is the first one. Department, hey, let me tell you, SG, it gets full before we apply. We don't have to apply for that one. It gets full. Because there are people who do back those things in that department. Listen to my statement. There are people who do backdoor things. Now, why am I touching a child? That man is arrogant when it comes to assisting students. But now when he must monetize department, he doesn't do anything. 2 minutes when the system opens for registration, marketing is full. No. There's something wrong. There's something wrong. That department must be investigated. And we must go back to the system and say, this student which entered now, when did the student apply? When was the student approved? When did the student register? Because if we don't make follow-ups on those things, we're going to have a problem. People who don't have connections will never enter the systems. Because someone who tiba mang, you're not gonna pew. When we close gates and say only SRC and custom must enter, hey, my babu, you will find comrades at the gate wanting your head, wanting to kill you. We put our hand, why do you want to kill me? Are you an employee? Must you go and work inside? What's so hard are you fighting to enter and do inside? I want to assist students. Can't what is our duty now as SRC? If there is someone who have a problem, then you can't tell us, or these students need your assistance with 1, 2, 3. So, I believe for that one of gates, keep on insulting us. We're going to close. Tomorrow it must be more tight. More tight. The ship must be tight, SG. Very tight. So that we reduce this crime. Already last week here, we're having, there was someone who was caught charging 3.5 to change the status. There were people who were already charging 20 rand for academic records. So you can tell already, the corruption is draining from management to student leaders. Now, we are going to close those gates and we want you to hate us more. And when you collect that money, so we're going to close the gate. But we want protection service, I emphasize this, must investigate these departments who get full early to say, when did they apply, when were they approved? Because some of them, they come, their forms being at the booth, but others applied online. It's a serious problem. And I want that man of Chauke there to redirect all his energy to make sure that he reduces the corruption in his department. All that arrogance he has on students, he must take it out to his employees and question them. Unless if Liena, we don't know.
Any other questions?
No, thank you. What done is thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, and our student, staff members who have, and especially management, people from management, we know you have been watching this. We thank you for your time, for watching us. Students, we apologize for being long, but we had to communicate with you. Please join the WhatsApp group because it's a WhatsApp group of 2 days only, and then you are going to disband that group fast. So, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful night.
Salute.
Ciao.